Hello YouTube. I am on my way into Philly right now for my first in-person doctor's appointment since March. My April appointment ended up being telehealth because they're trying to keep people away from the hospital as much as possible. But I'm guessing, since I am still in the first year and still having some complications, I'm guessing they don't want to go too long without seeing me in person. And now that I'm past my 1-year lung anniversary, they probably also want to see me in person, get some, up-to-date testing information, and just kind of check on everything. The camera quality might suck today, and if so, I apologize. The reason for that is I am on my phone because I have to be by myself today. Part of the, regulations in times of Corona are that you're not allowed to bring anybody with you to appointments unless you need them for assistance. And as much as Catherine really wanted me to claim that I needed her for assistance, fortunately, I don't actually need her, and I am capable of managing by myself. So I had to leave her behind, which is sad. My mom is also, not thrilled because she sometimes likes to come with me to appointments, but I'm flying solo today, which means that I am recording this from my little phone holder dashboard thing. So we'll see how this goes. That also means I won't be able to take any video of the traffic situation if Philadelphia looks like a ghost town again, like it did the last time we drove in here. So that's a little disappointing, but what are you gonna do? I'm not entirely sure how I feel about going in for an in-person appointment. On the one hand, it's nice to go in person. Like, I do, in some ways prefer the in-person to the telehealth, and being able to get full testing, full pulmonary function testing, and get a chest x-ray and do all those things. But of course, I don't really want to be out in public, and particularly not in a public medical setting, which greatly increases my potential exposure and risk factor. Also, it's kind of nice to roll out of bed and into your appointment instead of having to actually get up and get dressed and drive. But I'm not really that worried because I know that they're keeping most people out of the Perelman Center and out of the hospital. I definitely expect it to be way less crowded than usual, and for the process to be much more streamlined than usual. Usually I leave myself a lot more time to get my chest x-ray and my pulmonary function testing done, because usually you're sitting and waiting for possibly an hour, before you end up getting your test. I'm not expecting that to be the case today. Oh, crud. This is a problem. I thought that the tolls were closed, but they're open, and I don't have money. Hi. Okay, I thought the tolls were closed, so I am now scrounging for change. Do you take, change? Okay, here's 3. Here's 4, and give me a minute to count out one more $1. And here's $1. Yes. I even checked the website last night, and it said that the cash lanes were closed. Yeah.
They've been open for a couple weeks. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Okay, that was fun and exciting. Okay, yeah. Always love to start my trips off with unexpected adrenaline and adventures. I don't even remember what I was saying. I do not have Easy Pass. It usually isn't an issue because I don't end up, using tolls that often. Pretty much just when I, come into Philly for these appointments. And I actually have a, thought process behind not having Easy Pass, because at some point in high school, I saw this thing that was saying that, there's, a high suicide rate among toll takers because it's such, a miserable, depressing job, because I guess, you don't have, human interaction, and everybody's mean to you, and, people just treat you like a machine. And ever since then, I've made it a point to, be nice to the toll people and, say hi to them. Although I might have forgotten to do that in my panic just now. So, oops. And so I deliberately do not have Easy Pass because I know that if I have Easy Pass, then I won't go through the toll lanes anymore because I'll have Easy Pass. So I don't have Easy Pass. And if I used tolls more often, I probably would have Easy Pass. But I don't, so it doesn't usually have a huge impact on my life. But it would have been really helpful today. I think I was saying that I'm not so worried about going in because there won't be so many people. Oh, right. Streamlined process. Yes, I did not leave myself so much time for my chest x-ray and my pulmonary function testing today because I don't expect there to be huge crowds sitting in the waiting area. And I don't really want to be just sitting around in the public areas of the Perlman Center. I really want to minimize that as much as possible because, again, trying to limit potential exposure. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it is going to take forever and I'm going to be late for my appointment. But half the time I'm late for my appointment anyway because it takes forever to wait for testing. So it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely more trafficy today than it was, I guess, last month when I went in for my bronchoscopy. Probably not quite, normal, but last time there was literally no traffic and we just flew straight there without even stopping, which was insane. But today there is a little bit of traffic and a little bit of, starting and stopping at certain points, but definitely later than usual. So still pandemic-y, but not post-apocalypse wasteland like it was last time we came in here. So the local streets are definitely way emptier still than usual. Usually this whole little stretch that I'm on right now is just packed and full of traffic, and it's just been empty. I'm just driving straight through. I'm only stopped now because I'm at a light. Also, usually right over here there's this little lot which is usually full of food trucks, and those are all gone. Which I expected. I don't think anybody's, going to the food trucks right now. But yeah, so I'm guessing, this whole area is really, the hospital area. And I feel like a lot of the traffic that goes on around here is hospital. Also, colleges, which obviously are all closed right now. So between the medical traffic being down and the college traffic being down, it's pretty easygoing around here right now. All right, I am now in the parking lot. Usually parking for these appointments is a total disaster. Either I'll use the valet, which itself can have a huge line and take forever, or I will park in the lot myself because it's cheaper, but it can literally take upwards of 20 minutes just to find a parking spot because this place is just so busy and so full all the time. Today, the first level was pretty full, so I went down to the second level and found a spot right away. So definitely expect it to be a a lot less busy upstairs and hopefully a lot faster. All right, I'm now back in the room waiting for the doctor. It took me 15 minutes to get my chest x-ray, 15 minutes to get my PFTs, checking in. There was no check-in or waiting process, and now the nurse is here, so I'm gonna go. So I just saw the nurse. I'm now waiting for the doctor. Now that I've started talking, we'll see if that makes somebody come walking through the door right away, because I feel like that is always what ends up happening. Yeah, so things are different than the last time that I was at the Perlman Center. The last time I was here was for my bronch at the end of March, and there was like nobody here at that point. Like the whole place was just shut down. So today there are definitely people here, but it's also definitely way less than usual. I would say less than half of like what it usually looks like around here, which is good on multiple levels. It's good in terms of germ exposure, and it's good because it means things go faster than usual. They did tell me that I was lucky with my PFTs because it actually can take a long time, because pulmonary function testing is the kind of thing that, you know, makes people cough. You have to take off your mask to do it, and, you know, definitely can be spreading germs into the air. So what they do is they're only using like a specific room to do them, so that it's like an enclosed space, and they have to thoroughly clean it in between each patient, which means that they can only see, you know, like a very limited number of patients for pulmonary function testing, because the whole cleaning process just takes a while. Apparently, as of June 1st, before you come in for pulmonary function testings, you're going to have to be cleared of a COVID screening, in order to like make sure that everybody is safe. So that'll be fun. Can't wait for that. I see a lot of COVID screenings in my future between PFTs and bronchs. It should be a good time. Can't wait. So yeah. So I gave the nurse, you know, the update as to just what's been going on with me, and went through all my meds, and now we are waiting for the doctor. All right, so that's all done. They're very happy with how I'm doing. Everything is really going very well. They did my, 1 year blood work. I don't have any antibodies to the new lungs, which is great. We don't have any evidence of rejection. They're gonna, at my next bronch, if there's narrowing of the airways, then that would explain, why my numbers are not like as good as they've been at times. And then if that's the case, my doctor doesn't feel like we need to do a biopsy to look for rejection, because he doesn't really see any evidence of rejection. He said if everything looks totally fine and there's no narrowing of the airways, so then he would have a biopsy done just to make sure that there is no rejection. But otherwise, that, the only decrease in lung function, over the last couple months, could easily be explained by the narrowed airways. He's hopeful that we might be able to, at the very least, push off my having another bronchoscopy after this one, or that possibly I won't need another bronchoscopy after this one, depending on how things look. So here's hoping, fingers crossed, that things are looking good and we can not be going in for bronchs every 4 to 6 weeks, because that's a little tiresome. He did say something interesting, because apparently there's going to be like a new policy that you have to get a COVID screening before you come in for PFTs, and he actually said that he thinks it's a dumb policy for transplant patients, because, as he put it, it's not subtle when transplant patients have COVID. That he said they haven't seen anybody who has a little bit of COVID or a mild case of COVID. That with the transplant patients, either you don't have it or you're in the ICU, or at least in the hospital. That they've seen people who have been really sick with COVID, or they've seen people who don't have it at all, because the transplant community has been very careful about, isolating and hygiene and just protecting ourselves. So that was something I was wondering is, how are people doing post-transplant with COVID? And it was actually like a little scary to hear him say that, because, I haven't been positive as that it was affecting the transplant community that badly, but apparently it is. So I do need to continue being extremely careful and extremely vigilant about really staying away from people. He said the big issue right now is the asymptomatic spread, that there are so many people not in the transplant community and like the general healthy population who carry the virus, spread the virus, have no clue that they have the virus. So therefore, he said it's not enough for people to be asymptomatic to assume that they're safe, that they could be asymptomatic, give it to me, and I'll end up in the ICU. So I really do need to be extremely careful. He said until the prevalence of it in the general population decreases significantly, that I'm just going to have to continue being extremely careful, which I pretty much already expected. I've been expecting that I'm going to be on some form of lockdown until at least next year, possibly longer. So that just kind of confirmed that for me. So I wish it hadn't confirmed it for me. I wish that it was a different story, but alas, that's how it is. So that is about it. It was a good 1-year transplant anniversary appointment. I showed them the video of me making the 11 o'clock news for my little lung anniversary car parade, and they were very happy to see that and excited about that. So yeah, it was good. It was a good visit. And they said that they don't need to see me until August, because now that I'm a year out, I can go every 3 months with my appointments. So yay, progress. And now I will be heading home in the hopefully minimally trafficy streets, because things are still a little COVID chill around here. And that's it. See you next time.